In 1984, Andre Van Zijl was diagnosed to HIV. He has, however, refused to see this as a death sentence and has instead embarked on educating people about HIV/AIDS. This he does by creating awareness on how to survive, whether infected or affected by HIV. He is also the holder of over 40 world records, which goes to show that being HIV positive does not mean that life has to come to an end. He has shown this through cycling around the Southern African region, spreading his message of hope, while at the same time raising much-needed funds for those who are in need. He now joins us in studio. It's so good to see you.
Nice seeing you again.
I'm trying to work out in my head when the last time you were here, and it was a good few years ago. But
it's about 2 years ago now.
Was it 2 years ago? And how have you been?
Very well. I've now done my 49th world record by brying for 101 hours a few weeks ago.
49th?
49th in Kimberley. That was in aid of the mentally handicapped and the physically handicapped in Kimberley at the Big Hole. And I also sat in a shark cage for 5 days for animal rights.
Oh my gosh.
And now I've been active, very active.
Wow.
But Leanne, what I need to stress is we must still continue educating people about HIV/AIDS.
Yeah.
ARVs has not cured anybody. It keeps people's your CD4 count at a level and your viral load undetected, but we have to concentrate on still educating people.
Yeah, you do. I mean, that goes without saying. I mean, when we talk about being diagnosed in 1984, and when we go back to 1984, those were the days where this was stigma. It was a death sentence.
Yeah,
that was it. It was like, come, let's sign your death certificate. That's it. I mean, what was it like for you?
I was told by the doctor then, and I would most probably live for 5 to 7 years if I was lucky. And I actually said to him, I'm going to bury you and your family. But and I just decided then, in '88, I actually became very, very proactive by doing world records. I've now raised close on 70 million for the orphans, the disabled and animals since '88 by doing the various world records.
That's
and I've reached about 20 million people in Africa with my message.
Yeah, yeah. Now, just let's get back to the changes over these years. I mean, we talk about 1984, we're sitting in 2015. How has it changed? Let's start firstly with medication.
Medication, thank goodness, is available and it's been rolled out. Unfortunately, everybody that is HIV has not been tested. Only a third of people that are HIV positive are actually on ARVs. And there's very good news in the pipeline. The ARV tablets will be something of the past one of these days. You will be getting a 2-monthly injection, which would eradicate the robbing of patients on their way home with their medication, because it gets used for drugs by drug users. And yeah, a 2-monthly injection that's in the pipeline. Also, there's something called PrEP and PEP, which a person who is HIV can take not to actually infect other people, and the other one is a barrier against HIV as well.
Yeah. And I mean, you've lived in South Africa and you've gone through all of the leaders and the different health ministers and the different generations and the different viewpoints of how to treat HIV, whether it was from one of our previous ministers talking about having garlic and beetroot.
Garlic and potatoes and beetroot.
Exactly. I mean, and then of course now we're seeing a very different stance from our leadership with our health minister now, Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi. And I mean, he is adamant that we can rid this and we can become a nation that doesn't have the highest rate anymore.
The problem is it's still very prevalent and the infection's still very high.
Yeah.
But I've taken the Honourable Minister I met about a year ago at the airport, and I have the world's respect. He's doing something active. It's not all talk, it's something being done. But the public out there must realize they must also make a difference. You know, being the longest person living with HIV on the planet, that to me is a record I would not have wanted if I could have avoided it. But being the person, I'm the spokesperson for every single person living with HIV. It is not a death sentence. Choose a cause, not a coffin. Get positive of mind, not of virus. And if you're on medication, please do not stop taking your medication. And there's now the one tablet which I'm on at the moment, and things have moved so much, and we can just be grateful for all the advances that's been made.
Yeah.
But we still have an enormous road to tackle.
Yeah, yeah.
Education must still continue.
Well, certainly an education of the youth, because that's what we've been focusing in on here, it seems, this morning when we talk about the message and we talk about the segment of the community that is affected most. It appears that it is the youth. They have the highest infection rate.
Yeah, apparently the girls between 12 and 18 are the
Scary.
highest at risk, and the infection rate is unbelievably high.
Yeah.
And what we need to tell people, self-respect and respect for others. If you respect yourself, you will not want to get any of the STDs, sexually transmitted diseases, of which HIV is another one. And life is about choices. Make the right ones, for heaven's sake.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. I mean, don't be silly. Don't be silly. One silly decision can change your life for the worst, and that's the reality.
Yeah, one stupid stepping over the line could be, so fatal, and it's not necessary.
Indeed.
Choose life.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. Andre, so 149, 150 is a big number. What are we going to do? How are you going to break the world record for that 150th thing?
No can
What's
do,
in the
because
pipeline?
the
What do you
record
mean?
stands at 111 by a track and field athlete in Australia.
Yeah?
I want to do my last August when I'm 104 years old. So I want one for every year of my life. So it's 104 I'll be content with.
Yeah.
But one of my fun ones, I have to show you this, was sitting in a shark cage for a whole 5 days. That was incredible.
So you sat in this cage
Yeah,
for
that was against pitbull fighting.
Let's see if you can get this.
And,
This is heavy. This book, so this is what...
That's only one of about 20.
Of all the things you've done, there you go. That's Andre sitting in a shark cage. So you were here for 5 days in the shark cage.
Yeah, and it was...
And that's a world record.
It was worth it, because the male culprit has now been sentenced to 20 years imprisonment.
Yes?
Yes.
Wow.
Pitbull fighting will shortly be...
So this is another cause that you're fighting
yes.
for.
Oh, yes.
The
Animals
pitbull-
cannot speak for themselves.
That is fantastic. You really are the voice. Oh, then now you did something with snakes. Okay, that I don't want to see.
She did the August and the 94 with me, by the way.
The snake?
And she got her own medal as well, for both.
No,
the only snake on the planet that has own medals for completing.
Andre, what you're trying to tell me is that you had a snake around your neck while you rode
and
the
people
Argus.
on the 94. Is that a real snake? No, she's spring operated.
And you did the 94.7
with her last,
with a snake around your...
Yeah.
Listen, I'm grateful I never saw you, because I attempted my first 94.7 this year.
What was your time, by the way?
No, let's not talk about my time. But
Mine
we can
was
talk
bad.
about the
Mine
fact
was
that,
bad.
to talk about the fact that I actually did finish, which is a good thing. But if I had seen you riding with a snake
You
around
would have
your
gone
neck-
faster,
No,
Leanne.
I think I would have. I would have broke records. I might have made the 2-hour mark at that rate. Listen, we're so proud of you, and we love it when you come and visit us. We really do.
My message is
So
a simple one.
Thank you
Be a
so
caring,
much.
sharing person. That's all you need to
Yeah,
be.
indeed.
Because we are caretakers of the planet. We are not the owners. Make sure that we leave a better planet for the future generations.
Wonderful. Andre Van Zijl, thank you very, very much for joining us. Andre was diagnosed with HIV in 1984, and here he is talking to us and breaking world records. 149 world records he's broken so far.
No, 49.
40? No, come on.
You don't add the 100 yet, please.
Oh, no. Okay,
no, it's 49.
49, yeah.
It's been an uphill struggle.
All right, okay. So now we're waiting for the 50th one now. Hey?
It should be happening shortly.
It'll be happening shortly. Keep us in suspense. We can't wait for it. All right. Ayanda, let's go back to you.